as we were talking, one of the reasons there's so many malicious actors and so many scammers and how many cryptos and tokens are appearing in the market today and disappearing tomorrow.
I can tell you what I tell most people when they come to see me for investing in this area. I say, we want to invest in cryptos. I said, right, do you want to invest in cryptos? And I tell them, don't invest in cryptos. I say, what do you mean? But you're in this field. I said, what I mean by that is, if you're going to go on your own, don't do it, you lose all your money. Almost 100%, you lose all your money. Find a professional firm like Carta Capital, but others that are in the market, and go through them. They will obviously have a fee for what they're doing for you, but you will go professionally into this industry, all right? Don't go on your own because it's wild, it's too crazy. Remember, there is 22,000+ coins in the market. So if someone is new, I say, which one do I choose? Okay, well, there's the obvious one that everybody invests in, but there's all these other ones, and you want to create a portfolio. So how do you create a portfolio? Well, that's where I suggest people to go through professional advisors.
Yes.
Don't go on your own. If you're going to go on your own, just put your money in carrots and tomatoes, and that's it. And don't go into this. Right?
Yes, or just put and forget about it. But it's so true. I like that you touched the topic of going and asking for the help of the professionals. It's like the same. We don't try to treat ourselves if we have a fever or something is paining. So we go to doctor and ask for their help.
If you're sick, go to a doctor.
Exactly.
Don't go to someone in the corner of the street, say, I'm sick.
Yes, and buy some herbs. Yes, and try it. No, absolutely.
Eat these plants here.
And same here, especially when we're talking about money, about the assets. So it's we need someone who knows how to manage that.
Yes,
absolutely. And that's also the part of the education camp in a way. And I like that you earlier said about the technical background, because that's true. I believe that's one of the barriers that I see among whether even younger or older generation is that they think that in order to enter the crypto world, they need to have this IT and technical background because the language is so complicated. So we need to start, I think.
Let me give you an example.
Okay,
all
yes.
Right? This is a phone, all right? This is a highly complex machine, super complex machine. You use it to make calls or send WhatsApps, no, isn't it? Do you know what's going on inside here?
No, absolutely.
Right, nothing.
Yes.
Most people don't. I know to an extent.
And I don't even think about it,
That is a way we will end up in this industry where we're going to be using it, but we don't need to know about what's inside. I am lucky because I'm an engineer by training. So
it's easy for you.
Yeah, I went into finance and banking very early in my life from engineering, but in reality, I don't even need to know anything about it. You don't need to know the technology behind it because that's not where you're interested. You're interested in yields, results, right? That's where you should focus on, how your monies are managed by a professional firm. Yeah.
I see. And so if we gonna talk about the current trends in the blockchain world, because even here in Dubai we see that the tendencies keep changing. Like last year we were talking more about the Metaverse, the year before there was the rise of NFT and everybody was talking about that. So what's happening in the blockchain world nowadays, today trends?
Well, listen, Metaverse and NFTs are vehicles in this industry that are going to continue to be used, and they will grow, all right?
Okay.
They all have their own advantages and disadvantages, but they will be there. But the trend that we're observing right now, very strong, and we're doing it, I'll explain you a little bit about it,
please.
is the tokenization of real-world assets, right?
Okay, tell me more, we want to know,
let me give an example of one of the things we're doing. We have identified and made an agreement with a gold mine in Chile, right? This gold mine, it has gold, identified gold for in excess of $15 billion right now at current gold price. Very, very big. We have all the data, all the legals, all the technical data, the drillings. We know that gold is in there.
Yeah.
So we have created a company in Chile, and then we're going to create probably another company possibly here in Abu Dhabi. That's one of the things we're discussing right now. And that company will simply take the gold in the ground in Chile and tokenize it. So eventually, in nine months from now, 9 to 12 months, depending on the time will take us, there's a lot of legal stuff that needs to be done. And I'm not going to get into details because it's very legalistic, it's boring for people. But let's say that at the end of the day,
let's keep it lively.
At the end of the day, $1 token of this gold will represent whatever amount of gold in the ground, right?
Yeah.
And we're going to put them in the market, and therefore that way we democratize gold. Anybody in this world can own $1 worth of gold, something that most people cannot do until today. It's real gold. Huh? There's no indexes or derivatives or any kind of other sort of byproduct. Like there are many in the market. You're not really buying gold, you're buying an index somewhere. Really you're buying the gold. So tokenization of real world assets. We have that one. We have another one in the Amazonas. So we're helping a Swiss company based in the Amazonas. Their interest is really to preserve the environment, right? And I'm very keen into preserving the environment because one of the crazy things I did, Aliona, when I was very young, besides my engineering, my MBA in finance, I did a master's in oceanography.
Oh my gosh,
I'm
really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, because I was crazy about Jacques Gustavo. Nobody knows about that guy anyway. So I'm very keen on the environment, and I was one of the directors of the first COP. It was called the Real Summit 30 years ago. So I'm very keen in joining the new blockchain technologies and the environmental problems as a solution. So we were asked by the Swiss company based in the Amazonas, in the Colombian side of the jungle, but the jungle, Brazil, Colombia, and Peru is right next door. It's 100 meters is Brazil, 50 meters Peru, here you're in Brazil, so it's the same thing, right? How to use modern technologies in order to help protect the environment. Their idea was, or is, to buy the land from the government, protect the environment for the local tribes that live there, and they will have some ecologists that are totally integrated into the jungle. Very nice, I've seen, they're very small, for 6 people each, etc. Anyway, so they invited me there, so I spent 1 week in the jungle, in a place where...
How was it?
4 planes and 3 hours of boat to get there through the Amazonian River. So, not easy.
Anyway, it was an adventure.
It was an adventure, isn't it? And what we are doing right now is we are NFTing the land and the trees, and obviously that will generate some number of revenues, and those revenues will be put back into this company to buy more land and protect more of the environment. But the canopy of the trees, we will use them for carbon credits. Right? So there are 3 revenue streams in one project. Now that's all based on technology, right? So we're using technology to solve an environmental problem. But we are actually really tokenizing real world assets, in this case land and trees, in the prior case gold. So that's the trend. The trend is the tokenization of real world assets, and we will see a lot more. Someone was saying on TV the other day, one of the big chaps, and I'll send you the link to that he sees a clear diminution or less shares put up in the markets, less IPOs, and more tokens replacing the shares, right? Interesting, huh?
Absolutely.
And this is a big chap. This is a guy that has been in the market like me for 40 years. And I'm very much with this guy. I think that we will have a strong move into tokens in the market instead of shares. Or at one point in time, we may be in a situation where 50-50, 50% of the actual issues in the market are tokens on real world assets, and the other 50% is shares. Because you can actually tokenize pretty much, no, any is an exaggeration, but pretty much any object that has a value, right?
So that's
I can tokenize your car and put it in the market.
We'll talk about that later, but that's what I like. I think that's how can bring this gap between people to understand, like, why do we need it to use for everyday life, and yes, finally to implement it our daily routine and make the utility that's for everyone, basically. Yes, that's true, and I love the project that you just shared. And
these are the first 2 of we have a number. We have also a project, but it's not yet in there. We need to get there to tokenize a lithium mine. Right? So we have identified a lithium mine that will probably be tokenized in a specific country in South America. We're waiting for the legals in that area to be cleared by the government, but as soon as that is all clear, we will enter that market as well. And the last one we've been suggested is the tokenization of a rare earths mine. You know what rare earths are?
No, tell me
Right?
more.
Nobody knows this. Your phone will not work without rare earths. Is a few elements in the periodic table of elements that everybody knows. Go and check them. It's called rare earths, with very weird names. So I cannot even pronounce them. Something like Pluton, or whatever. Go and check the names. But basically, you need a micron or whatever, a tiny fraction of that in your phone for it to work. Right? So a rare earths mine has recently been discovered in South America. We're using South America because the laws for mining are very good there, very solid, right? And we're probably going to tokenize it and put it in the market as well. So we're going 100% into tokenization of real world assets, and pretty much anything can be tokenized. In Switzerland, my country, people have tokenized already houses and buildings, and they're being sold as token.
Amazing, sounds fantastic, and thank you for this discussion. It's always such a pleasure to talk to you, and I'm sure we will have more discussions to come.
Thank you, Leon. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Likewise.
Thank you.
Thank you.